What's up everybody, this is Gunter Severlo. Today I'm going to show you how to create a new character anywhere in Skyrim without having to go through the intro or play the main quest. Alright, to begin with, I have a README that we're going to follow. This is a tutorial that I put together. What this tutorial is going to show you how to do is how to create a new character that will start anywhere you like without going through the new game intro and the main quest. Step 1 is to place the included poor start text file in the game's main directory, which I have laid out right here. So let's go over this poor start text first, which is this. This is what's called a bat file, and the game will load this up only when you type in the code for it. Our first step is to put this text file in the main Skyrim directory. So your main Skyrim directory is going to be found, it'll be under Steam, Steam Apps, Common, and Skyrim. And then you're just going to put it in there. You can see I already have it in here. And once you do that, that's all you have to do. That's just for now. Let's go to step 2. And step 2 basically says go to this website. The website is this right here. It is the satellite map of Skyrim itself. I'll have this linked in the description of the video. What we're going to do on this Skyrim map is I'm going to give you guys a working example of how to find a location and then the cell code for it, add the code, and then basically get into the game. And I've already chosen a location that I'm sure everybody's familiar with. Here is Helgen, and at the end of the intro, after you go through the carriage ride, and then you go through Helgen, and then you create your character, and then you go through all the dungeons, and then you go through the cave, and then you exit Helgen itself, this is where you're actually at. This is where you could start. So I figured for this tutorial, this would be a good spot to start your game. This is just an example. You could start anywhere you want, but this is basically just going to give you a good working example of how to do this. So here we have Riverwood and etc. So here what we have to do is zoom in and gonna look for certain names. If it has iron ore or these veins you see in the game that you can mine, you don't want these. You need an actual place. We're gonna go with Helgen Keep. So what we have to do is you take this name, Helgen Keep. We'll just highlight it and then copy it, and then we're gonna go to this other website. So step 3, we go to the skyrimsearch.com cells. What you're gonna do is you're gonna search for the place you want to start your game at. And once you find the location, then you're going to want to use the CLC code for step 4, which would be the next step. I'll have this website linked in the description. We're going to put in Helgen Keep, and you just once you do that, you press enter. It'll load, and for this particular code, what you're going to look for is this is the name that you see on the map itself. This is the code that we need. Charge and exit. If you look at where it's at, you have, if we put Helgen Keep 01, it'll say interiors. So we'll end up starting somewhere inside of Helgen, and we don't really want that. We want to start outside of Helgen itself. So we want this code right here, but before we go there, we have to do something else. Alright, let's go back to the tutorial, and we'll scroll down. So now you know how to do that. But our next step is the most important step. This is what enables us to start in the game. Step 4 says open your Skyrim INI file located at My Documents, My Games, Skyrim, and add the following line or the following code under the general section at the top. So first let's find the INI file. So under your C drive, My Games, Skyrim, and here will be your INI. So we need this INI. So let's open up the INI, and what you're going to do is you're going to take this code right here under step 4, highlight the whole thing, copy it, and then we're going to basically paste it under general. This is the general, so it's at the top, you can't miss it, and you're going to paste that code Once you have that code pasted, then we're going to go back to the Cells website and we're going to grab the CLC code right here, copy, and then we're going to go back to the INI and paste it right after the starting cell. And make sure it looks just like that. Make sure you have this exactly, not this code, but it close like that. So after that, you just save. We could just minimize this for now. We are on step 5, and step 5 is start the game, and you will see that it immediately starts a new game at the location you placed in your Skyrim INI without going to the main menu at first. So when you start your game, the game will just basically load and end up at the location that you put in your INI. Once we get there, I'll explain things as we get there, but for these other steps, step 6 will be the bat tour start. I'll go over these codes while we're in game because that's where we have to do them, so I'll explain them as we go. And then we have clear all markers, and that's basically it. Alright, so I'll see you guys in game. Alright guys, we're loading up into the game, and here we are in the game. That was pretty quick. So you bypass the whole menu with that start and cell code. As you can see, if you remember, we exited this cave from Helgen. If we take a look, we go to the map, you'll see that this is Helgen, and we're at that one cave that we exited. You know, you go through Helgen, and then you go through the dungeon, and then you go through the cave that's inside Helgen, and then you exit it, and you're out here. And then just down the road is, I think his name is Ryloth. He's a Stormcloak, and he leads you to Riverwood, which is right over here. Alright, so to begin with, the idea behind this is to get rid of all the armor, the potions, the books, the weapons, and the other stuff with it. You're going to go to your console, so press the tilde key, which is to the left of your number 1 button at the top left of your keyboard, and you'll get this shaded box that comes up. And what you're going to type in is BAT space POORSTART, bat tour start, and then you're going to press enter, and you'll see all this code that will pop up. And then basically what this code does is it adds the rough spun tunic plus the foot wraps, initiates the show race menu, and it also removes all your gear. So let's close the console. Just press the console key again, the tilde key, and that closes that. So now you're in your character screen. You could literally just start creating your character. I'm not going to do that, and I'm just going to end it just by naming the this guy. So I'm just going to hit OK. Player start, Helgen, and we're going to put some clothes on. So we have our foot wraps, and we have our rough spun tunic, and as you can see, no intro started, and we bypassed everything. Now there's one more thing. You'll see that there are icons of the major cities or towns, if you will, on the map, including Helgen. Now there is a code to remove those, so you literally have to go and discover those places. So let's open up the console. Press your tilde key to the left of the number 1 button, and what you're going to type in is TMM space and then 0, and then press enter. And as you notice, the word says under that, it says all map markers hidden. So close your console. We're done with that, and let's go back to the map, and you'll notice that all the icons that we're just looking at are gone. I want to show you guys something. Let's go to the standing stone, which is down this path, and I'll show you that whatever you discover will show up like you want it to. So standing stone should be right up here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, just around the corner. Here we are. Alright, once you just... Yeah, the Guardian Standing Stones. Alright, so if you go to your map now, you'll see that the Guardian Stones are the first thing that you discovered. So whatever you run around, wherever you go, and you discover, it'll show up on your map. So the code that we use to remove all the icons is not a permanent thing. Whatever you discover now will be fresh. It'll be new. So it's like you discovered it the first time. What I want to do is, I'm just going to fast forward. I'm going to go back to Helgen. Alright, we have a standing stone on there, so you know that works now. So we're going to remove the icons. Oops. And it's now gone. Alright, at this point, one more thing I want to show you is if you go to your journal, you press J for journal, and you'll see that there are no active quests. So until you meet someone or you go play somewhere and a quest starts, it'll show up here. So otherwise, you basically you're free and clear. There's no quest. If you wanted to start at the main quest, there's a code for that that you put into the console, and basically you'll get an indicator on your screen, you know, like a quest, and you'll have to go to Whiterun and talk to the Jarl that there was a dragon at Helgen and so forth, and that starts the main quest. That's optional if you wanted to do that. Otherwise, there's no main quest. You're not the Dragonborn or anything. That's how cool this is. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to press escape, and we're going to save this new player start. So new save, and then I'm going to exit the game, and I'm going to show you the next step. So I'll see you on the desktop. Alright guys, we are back on my desktop on the tutorial readme. So step 6 was basically to type in the console the bat pour start. Then in step 7 we cleared the map of all the markers, which was this TMM0, and the next step is step 8, and this step is once you shut down the game after setting all this up, after setting up all the codes and so forth, and putting the code in the INI and putting the poor man bat in your Skyrim directory, then you'll need to delete the entry you added in this Skyrim INI, and if you do not do this, then every time you start Skyrim, it will take you straight to a new game all over again, and unless you change the code, you'll start at that spot and you'll have to start all over again. So what we need to do is open your Skyrim INI and basically just remove this entire code that we added, and then hit save. You can close the Skyrim INI. We don't have to do nothing with it anymore. And the poor man bat you could leave if you want. It's not like required. It doesn't do anything until you type in that bat pour start. So you can delete it if you want. But what we're going to do is go back into game, and we're going to load up our save that we created 9 before we get in the game. This is the code right here for the main quest. Now if you wanted to do the main quest when you get in game at your save point, then what you do is you go to the console and you type this code in. What I have here is, if you wish to start the main quest, open the console and type this code. This will instruct you to head to the Jarl of Whiterun with news of dragon attack at Helgen. The quest should run as normal from this point forward, and that's basically the tutorial. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back in game and load up our save and see where we're at. I'll see you there. Alright guys, we are now on the main menu of Skyrim. As you notice now that the game is back to normal, we're on the main menu, and what we're going to do now is we're going to load up our save that we created. The latest save should be at the top of the list. It'll probably say Skyrim, but the name that you named your character will be, for us, it'll be player start Helgen, because that's what I typed into the thing. So, and he is a Nord, level 1, and of course you can change your character. I'll show you this once we get in game. So let's load this guy up. Yes. And we should start at the exit of the cave just outside of Helgen. And here we are, just like we saved. Alright, so you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do I create my character now? Press your tilde key. You're gonna type in the following: show race menu. All one word. So when you have that, just press enter. And then close the console, which is press the tilde key. And now you can customize your character to how you want. And I'm not going to do that, but player start Helgen. And one more thing before I end this tutorial is go to your map, and as you noticed, all the icons are still gone. I have a zip file with the tutorial and the poor man's start text file in a zip file that you can download, linked in the description of the video. This video will also be linked on Nexus along with my previous video for Skyrim demonstrating the different saves. So I hope this helps you guys out and helps you enjoy Skyrim a lot more. I'll see you guys on the next video, which will be for Arma 3. Thanks for watching. Bye.